We are in Nicaragua filming the devastation of Hurricane Felix. These are some of the homes that have been built to support life since all their homes were destroyed. We are in the RAAN region of Nicaragua, approximately 35 kilometers from the Rosita area towards Puerto Cabeza. These are the new vast clearings in the RAAN region of Nicaragua as a result of Hurricane Felix. A lot of these trees have been broken in pieces, the tops have been snapped off. This is a typical situation where a person that wants to farm the land burns fallen logs so that the real native trees will never grow again and it will be permanently lost to farming. This is what we must try to prevent so that we can conserve forest lands and rainforest. The burning, this is intentional burning of fallen trees and logs so that the land can be used for farming. There is a terrible stench here from the odor of the burned wood, and it's happened many days ago. But even though the destruction occurred many days ago, you can still smell the carbon from the trees that were made into charcoal. This is how we lose a lot of the rainforest, is to what is known as slash and burn. The farmers and the ranchers do this. Men that grow trees to log them in the future never do this type of operation. Parts of this giant tree were cut with a chainsaw and left to rot in the jungle so that it would be burned and not utilized for anything. It is our intent to try to salvage beautiful lumber species like this that can be converted to exotic fine furniture, and this would create an income for the local native Indians as we would provide work. Not only that, we would pay taxes to INAFOR, MAG4 and all the other government agencies, as well as reforest immediately so that this slashing and burning would stop. This is one of the few giant ceiba trees that were spared from Hurricane Felix. A lot of the large branches have been torn off, but the tree is still standing. It is a giant ceiba tree. The width is around 20 feet across the center of this tree. This tree could be 300 years old or more. You can do a complete dugout canoe for 50 men out of this one tree. These are the logs that were pulled from the hurricane. They were dragged out here, cut with chainsaws to be processed and logged at the sawmill, cut into good quality lumber, but evidently they were left behind to rot. Thousands and thousands of trees that could have been saved. And used into good exotic hardwoods for furniture, boats, and other things. This is a terrible example of waste. we could have used all this lumber and created a lot of jobs and opportunities, and the governments here could have used it to reforest. Instead, these canopies are all gone, and what we need to do now is to reforest and bring back the beautiful natural canopy that area once had, as well as all the exotic animals that once lived here. Most of them are gone because they don't have the canopy and the food supply to support them. Rosita's in this direction, and this is part of the devastation which Hurricane Felix did. This is a typical little ranch area, and as you can see, the hills are very barren of trees. All the trees of any good size are gone. The forest canopy is completely gone, and some of the bush is starting to grow back. But we need to reforest all these beautiful areas. This is part of the 10,000 trees that have been donated to V Corporation, so that V Corporation can reforest for the community since they lack the funds. The rest of the nursery is on the other side of the street. It's raining now. This is the fuel tank, and these buildings are used to store the Lucas mills. This is the main yard where all the logs are kept until they're taken to the sawmill for processing. That's part of the extraction equipment. The rest is out in the field. This is a very big yard. It's possibly 20 hectares. There's an electrical generator in that building, and on the other side of the building there's a sharpening room for the tools, for the blades. There's a sharpening room with every conceivable piece of equipment. These are two of the Lucas mills. These are the main components where the motors are. This is a bobcat used around the sawmill to do work, and over here we have more fuel tanks, and this is the rest of the Lucas mills. The frames which are used to cut long pieces of lumber. Each Lucas mill should do around 3,000 feet more or less. These are aluminum pieces used for guides. There are 3 Lucas mills, and we can work 2 shifts on them once we have the entire operation set up with lights to work at night. This is the main yard office of the sawmill where we got satellite communication, internet, etc. And as you can see behind it, there's a lot of logs that are there to be processed. Entrance to the sawmill. It's right off the main road. This is where the wood miser was working. Has a base and a roof. And this is the main yard of the sawmill. The ceilings are possibly 30 feet high, and the length of this sawmill roof is 200 feet long.
Mr. Mike.
This is a cutoff to cut the length of the lumber. Over there is the actual sawmill with a very fast carriage system to do high-speed production. Then over here we have a resaw for doubling the production of the sawmill. It needs to be moved to the right location, and then this is to cut the edges off the wood. It's got multiple saws and it acts like a table saw to cut the edges. A little further back we see some of the blades from the sawmill and the resaw. We're going to put this into straight line production so we can increase production by 300%. It will be more efficient, better finish, and higher production yield.